All right, welcome to another edition of the Florida Physique Report. My name is John Hansen. I'm your host, and we are broadcasting live from the Powerhouse Gym in downtown Tampa, Florida. Today is episode number 67 of the Florida Physique Report, and today is July 20th, 2016. Our guest on the show this week is Antonella Valencia. Antonella is a teenage competitor. She started off competing in bikini last year, and she switched over to figure this year. She won the Dexter Jackson Classic last year in bikini, not only in the team but also in the open division. And then when she switched over to figure this year at the Jax Physique, also out in Jacksonville, she won again the teen figure and the open figure. So she's obviously got some great genetics, great potential. She's got a great physique, and she's going to be competing this weekend at the Teen Nationals, which is actually called the Teen Masters and Collegiate Nationals. And Antonella will be turning 20 next year. So she's obviously got some great potential, and she's going to do I think she's going to do really well in the teen figure division this weekend. So we got a really good interview coming up with Antonella Valencia. Before we get to that, I want to go over the results of the NPC Ancient City Classic, which took place last weekend out in St. Augustine, Florida. I got the results from that, and we've got the photo report up right now on floridaphysique.com, along with all the interviews. I think we did about 9 interviews with all the overall winners, so check that out on floridaphysique.com. This weekend, in addition to the Teen Masters and Collegiate Nationals, which is taking place starting tomorrow on July 21st through the 23rd out in Pittsburgh, it's going to be a huge show. It's actually a 3-day show now because it's so big. We got many Florida athletes competing, so I will have the results of that show next week on the Florida Physique Report. Just off the top of my head, I know we got Paul Southern is competing. He was second place last year by only 1 vote. So I know Paul has been training for a full year, and he's much improved. He's training with AJ Sims, and we're hoping that Paul pulls it off and wins his class. I think he's in the over 50 division. Yes, he is in the over 50 division of the Masters men's bodybuilding. So we hope that he wins his pro card in this one. Also, Ferland Bailey, a top competitor in the Florida area, won the Florida State last year. He's going to be competing, and I believe also in the Masters. Sam Yahia, who just won the Southern States in the Classic Physique, he is going to be competing. And all these guys are training under AJ Sims, the conditioning specialist, and I think they're all going to do really well. Then we also obviously have Antonella Valencia competing. Deborah Lindahl and her friend Wheezy Owens, who both took top 5 at the Team Universe, they're also going to be competing this weekend. So we got a lot of competitors from the Florida area, and as I said, next week I'll have the results from the Teen Masters and Collegiate Nationals, a really huge show, and we're going to have a lot of competitors from the Florida area competing. Also this weekend taking place out in Florida, in Satellite Beach, Florida, is the NPC Beach Bodies Classic. Rick Blackwood and Donna Tamori are promoting that show. I think this has got to be about their 4th or 5th year, and it should be a really good show. It's open to competitors from all around the country, and if you want information on that, go to beachbodiesclassic.com, and it's going to be taking place at Satellite High School out in Satellite Beach, Florida, and I will be out there this weekend taking pictures and doing interviews. I also want to mention this week we're going to be shooting a training video with Kelly Diffenderfer, who is now a pro women's physique competitor, and Devin Manny, who is a top figure competitor, and I believe Devin is going in the at the Tampa Pro Show, the Tim Gardner Extravaganza Tampa Pro Show, and Devin was really close to getting her pro card about 2 years ago. So I think she's got great potential, great structure. So she is on a comeback, and Kelly told me she's looking really good. So I'm looking forward to shooting that tomorrow. We're going to be shooting it tomorrow morning right out here at Powerhouse Gym. So we'll have that training video up for you this week. Kelly Diffenderfer and Devin Manny. All right, let's go over the results of the Ancient City Classic that took place on July 16th out in St. Augustine, Florida. Gene Schlossberg and Pete Fancher were the promoters. All right, they started off with the Masters men's bodybuilding. Steve Epifanio, who's a frequent competitor in Florida, he won the over 50 division, and Ken Shoemate was the over 40 winner at the Masters Men's Bodybuilding. And Ken's got an interesting story. He is a cancer survivor. He went through a lot of chemo and a lot of experimental treatments to get rid of his cancer, and they even had to remove part of his colon. And Ken came back, I believe, about 3 years ago, and he started off competing as a lightweight because he lost so much weight and so much muscle from all the chemo treatments. And Ken is now up to a heavyweight competitor. So congratulations to him. I've seen him compete over the last couple of years, and he's continuing to make progress. So congratulations to Ken Shoemate for overcoming cancer and showing the courage to compete. In the Masters Figure Division, Diane Thornton was the winner in the over 40, but Diane is actually 60 years old, so she looked fantastic. We did an interview with Diane on the contest interviews section. You can check that out. The over 30 Masters Figure winner was Gina George. In the Novice Figure Division, Tricia Helene was competing, I think, in her first show, and she won the Novice Figure. In the Men's Physique Novice, Robert Broderick was the winner. And then going into the Men's Physique Open, Taylor Peterson was the winner in Class A, Robert Broderick was the winner in Class B, and Lamar Breland was the winner in Class C. And Lamar Breland was the overall winner. He had a really good physique, also competing in his very first show. A lot of first-time competitors who did really well at the show. In the Novice Bikini, Jessica Beam was the winner there. She had a really good look. Masters Bikini over 30 went to Nancy Martin in the short class, and in the tall class over 30 went to Jane Spalding, but the overall winner in that was Nancy Martin. Going into the Classic Physique Division, in the Novice Classic Physique, Herman Q Quantico, he goes by the name Q, he was the winner there. And the Masters Classic Physique over 40 division went to Steve Epifanio. Then they move into the Figure Open division. Kelly Ludke was the winner in Class A. Tricia Helene, who was the novice winner, she wins Class B. And Ashley Malcolm was the winner in Class C, with Gina George winning Class D. But the overall winner in the Figure Open was Tricia Helene, competing, I think, in her very first show also. She won the Novice and the Figure Open. Congratulations to her. In the Women's Physique, Jennifer Raleigh was the winner there. And then in the Classic Physique Open, not a lot of competitors, but John Puskarich was the winner in Class B. And John has been competing for many, many years. I think he's been competing over 20 years. And he is now doing Classic Physique in addition to doing bodybuilding. And John was the winner at my contest, the Natural Suncoast, last year. So he's a really good competitor, a very good poser, and he fits really good into the Classic Physique division. Eric Malinsky was the winner in Class C, but John Puskarich was the overall winner there. In the Bikini Open, Jessica Beam was the winner in Class A. Francisca Gusky was the winner in Class B. Tabitha Karkaba was the winner in Class C. And Carice Thompson was the winner in Class D. And the overall winner went to Jessica Beam, and Jessica was also competing in her very first show, so congratulations to her. In the men's bodybuilding, not a lot of competitors, only 3 competitors. In fact, they only had one weight class, just the middleweight class. But the winner, Nestor Riccio, was very good. I think this was Nestor's second contest. He's been training like 20-something years, but he just started competing in the last couple years. And he looks really, really good. He's got good shape, good thickness. You could tell this guy's got a lot of years of training under his belt. So he wins the middleweight class and, of course, the overall. So we look forward to seeing Nestor compete again. I don't know if he's going to compete again this year. He might take the year off. So that was it. Not a lot of competitors at the Ancient City, but they had some good competition, and a lot of competitors competing for the very first time did really, really well. So we look forward to seeing them compete again in the future. All right. Let's take a break to hear from our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to be joined with our interview of the week with Antonella Valencia, our teen figure competitor, who will be trying to win that national title this weekend at the Teen Masters and Collegiate Nationals out in Pittsburgh. We'll be right back with the Florida Physique Report. Divine Nutrition Products believes in supplying the consumer with the highest quality products available. Their natural isolate line of protein is comprised of whey protein isolate made from grass-fed protein, featuring brand new flavors like vanilla peanut butter and pound cake. Divine Nutrition Products is the preferred supplement of rising IFBB Pro Figure champion Sydney Gillen, winner of the 2016 Miami Beach Muscle Pro.
Hey, this is Sydney Gillen, IFBB Figure Pro champion. I love Divine Nutrition products, especially the pound cake as soon as I get that one. But my favorite right now is vanilla peanut butter. It's so delicious.
Visit us at divinenutritionproducts.com. All right, welcome back to the Florida Physique Report, and my special guest this week is Antonella Valencia, who is competing this weekend at the Teen Nationals out in Pittsburgh. How you doing, Antonella?
Good. How are you, John?
I'm good. Well, are you excited competing in your first national level show this weekend?
I am. I'm very excited. I've always wanted to compete in this show, so it's kind of exciting, but it's just something to look forward to also. I wouldn't say nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I think excited is the right word.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to do this. Whatever the outcome is, I'm finally doing this show. So
yeah,
I'm very excited.
Well, let's talk about your career, because I met you last year, not this year, but in 2015. I met you at the Dexter Jackson Classic, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And that was in the fall, and you were doing bikini, and you were only 18. You just got out of high school, and you won everything. You won, I think, the Open, right? And you won the team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then this year I saw you at the Jax Physique, and you switched over from bikini over to figure. And you did the same thing. You won the team, and you won the Open and that show also. So what got you into competing? Like, what was your sports background when you were younger?
I've always been a competitive runner. I ran competitive track and field as part of the Naples track team since I was in the third grade. Mm-hmm. And I qualified for the Junior Olympics, and then in high school I was a super competitive runner, also in middle school. In high school we won some state championships, and we just had an awesome team. And I knew that I wasn't going to run in college just because I wanted to go to a big school like University of Florida. But to run there is just, you have to be ridiculously fast. So I knew I wasn't going to run in college. So when I graduated, I didn't know what to do with myself because I was used to practice every day and, running here and there and, competing here and whatever. And so I started going to the gym every day. And one of my good friends taught me how to work out and whatnot, taught me the ropes. And I was just always there. And someone was like, "Oh, you're always here. Why don't you try competing?" And I was like, I don't know that I can do that diet. I don't eat like that. I don't know how to eat. Right. And a good friend of mine, a coach, just kind of told me he would help me out. So I was like, whatever, I have nothing to lose. I tried it, and I fell in love.
Now, when you did the running, were you doing sprinting or were you doing long distance?
Both. I did track and cross country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, our high school was really well known in cross country, so we had a really good cross country team, which is part of the reason I probably liked that more, just because we were so successful. Mm-hmm. Our track team was awesome too, but we didn't have much sprinters. I was a quicker sprinter, but not state level. But in cross country, we had a really good team.
Okay. So when you started weight training, did your physique respond pretty quickly?
Yeah, definitely, because I had always just been so athletic and kind of had that athletic body, just not with the muscle mass that comes with bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did respond quickly, and it was awesome. And I think that's why I started competing so quickly, because I just felt, I have always kind of had the shape, and I just added a little more mass and felt ready. So yeah.
When you were in running, were you doing weight training at all then, or no?
No, not really.
No?
We did like boot camp style workouts and distance runs and lots of sprints, but we didn't do much weight training. No.
Okay.
So when I started, I didn't know much at all.
So when you first got into the weightlifting, did you look at anybody who inspired you? Did somebody in like a pro level competitor or something?
I have always loved Erin Stern. I mean, her physique is what I aspire to be. And she actually ran. She was a competitive runner also. She ran at the University of Florida. And so, yeah, I've just always kind of looked up to her.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Yeah, she trains at my gym, at Powerhouse Gym in downtown.
I know that, too, yeah. And she actually knows, since she ran track, and I'm an athletic training major, she knows, like, a lot of the same people that I know. So I'm hoping one day we'll meet.
Yeah. So you started off with bikini. Now, why did you start with bikini? Did you like that better, or did you just think your physique looked better in bikini?
I wanted to start off in figure, but I just know that it takes kind of a while. I knew that it took a while to build up a figure body, just because it's just a little more muscle, and it's a little different. So I figured I'd start, and I was anxious to step on stage, so I figured I'd start in bikini and just kind of see where that took me. So that's what I did, and eventually I did put on enough mass and figured why not switch over to figure, which is what I wanted to do. I went back and forth for a few weeks not knowing if that's what I actually wanted to do, just because it was hard to step out of your comfort zone, and the posing is different, and it's just a whole different ballgame. So it took me a little, but I finally switched over.
Yeah. So now the first bikini show you did was the one I saw you in, right? The Dexter Jackson?
No, I've done a small local one, the Progress and Pride Classic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did that one. And then I went and did the Dexter Jackson.
And you won Open and Team.
Yeah.
Were you surprised that you were able to win the Open also?
At the Dexter Jackson, yeah, I actually was. I was kind of nervous, and I was surprised, but I was also very happy with the outcome. Yeah, I definitely was surprised, but it kind of taught me, it kind of showed me that this is something that I can kind of keep doing, and if I work hard enough, I can make something out of it. So that's why I kept going and figured figure was a good step.
So after that Dexter Jackson, did you do another show that year, or did you just like start training for figure then?
I did. I actually did 2 shows that year. I did Deke Warner's the Florida State Championship. Okay. 2 weeks later, a few weeks later, I placed second in my class there. The girl who beat me in my class, she won the overall. And then I did nationals in Miami for bikini.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did. I just didn't place well. I didn't get like call outs or anything. I just didn't. That is what taught me that figure was my thing. Just because I kind of stuck out like a sore thumb. I've always had like thicker legs and just a little more build. I just kind of looked different against all the petite bikini girls, and that's when I was like, whoa, maybe I should switch over.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
How did you feel doing that show? I mean, doing that nationals is a huge show. There's so much competition.
Exactly. Yeah. It was awesome just because now I know what I'm up against, and the small local shows just kind of weren't enough competition, so I didn't really know how much more it like expanded, and I went to nationals and I was like, wow, this is the real deal. Like, this is where I want to be. So, yeah.
But you knew that your physique was more figure then when you did that, and you saw those national level bikini girls,
Exactly, yeah. So I'm glad I did that show, or else I probably would still be trying to do bikini.
So how did your training change now when you went transition from bikini over to figure?
I got more food, which is so nice. I was eating a lot more food and encouraged to train heavy. And I actually hadn't, for nationals, I don't think I trained legs once that whole prep. Just because they were too kind of bulky already, and I guess from running track, I just had that shape that bikini girls just have. So I was trying to slim them down, and it wasn't working, wasn't training legs. So when I switched over to figure, I was training legs twice a week, and just back to my normal self, how I wanted to lift, how I wanted to train, eat, and it was much more comfortable. So I realized, like, wow, that's me. Like, why fight? Why fight?
Why fight it? Yeah. So what kind of training routine did you do on bikini training compared to when you went over to figure? Like, what was a typical week like?
A typical week was my fasted cardio, but it was a lot more HIIT stuff and getting the heart rate up as like high as possible, sweating as much, long cardio, like hours plus.
Yeah.
Just to get the legs down. Then my workouts, like a few hours later, and in between the food, but it was very little, scarce, not high carb at all.
Yeah.
Not even high fat.
How about your weight training? How did you just split that up during the week?
I would usually split that up. I try and do like 2 glute days and just like isolate glutes. Try not to like hit too much quad or anything of that. I have a back day, a shoulder day, an ab day.
Okay.
Yeah, I just kind of split it up normally. But with figure, I can finally do legs again.
Mm-hmm.
I train back really heavy versus not so heavy. Arms, I train arms now. I never actually used to train arms, which is funny. But yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of train everything now, and it all kind of falls into place. And I feel a lot more comfortable, like myself.
Yeah. And you let your weight go up more in the off season?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I let my weight go up a little more, and now my stage weight is not even that much higher from bikini, but because of like, the muscle mass and then leaning down just a little harder for figure, it kind of balances out. So I'm still like the same, but just different body composition.
Different look, yeah. So then you did the Jack's Physique this year in 2016, and you won first place there. Now, how did that feel going in figure?
I'm sorry, what was that?
How did it feel going into figure in the Jack's Physique?
It was my first figure show, and I figured I'd do a small show, no national qualifier, just to see, put my foot in the water.
Right.
And it went really well, and I was really happy, and it showed me the difference between being on stage and posing, and even the people you're with backstage. Everyone's so different, and just bigger girls. I got a lot of good feedback. So.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So now you're getting ready for the nationals. Have you changed your training at all from the Jack's Physique to this? I mean, have you tried to get more cut, or what was your game plan?
For now, the game plan was just lean down a little more. I've always had trouble leaning my legs down, always. That's the last thing that goes for me. Mm-hmm. So my upper body was lower body. So I did a lot more, like, on the stair stepper, I focused on squeezing my quads a lot and not thinking that would actually work, but it did. Mm-hmm. Just every step kind of counted, and I always thought about it. And my caloric intake didn't change much, so that was fine. But, yeah, just the whole leg thing. So it was steady cardio, but I just kind of focused on squeezing the quads, and they kind of slimmed down as I went. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the game plan was leaner lower body, and it's worked. So I'm like probably 5 pounds lighter than I was 10 weeks ago for Pittsburgh. I did Pittsburgh.
Okay. So, when did you do Pittsburgh? That was you did the NPC Pittsburgh, right?
NPC Pittsburgh, yeah.
Okay.
I believe it was 2 months ago.
Was that right after the Jack's Physique?
Yeah, right after Jack's Physique. Yeah.
Okay. So when you do your cardio, and you said you do your stair stepper, do you do that every day? Do you do it fasted, or you do it later in the day, or how do you do it?
Right now, the last month, I've had cardio every day, so I've been doing 50 minutes fasted. I can break it up, but I just like to get it all out of the way. So I usually go to the gym, and I alternate every day. So one day I'll be on the stair stepper or the bike. Okay. And I love the bike because that just targets my quad, so it's so nice. Yeah. So yeah, I do them fasted, 15 minutes, just get it out of the way, stair stepper or bike.
50 minutes, 5-0.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you do it mostly fasted then?
Yeah, mostly fasted. Just because I just get it out of the way, and I'm not immediately hungry, but after my workouts, I'm starving, so I don't like to think, oh no, I have 50 minutes to wait. So, yeah, I just knock it out in the morning when I'm still, half asleep.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So the goal is then you want to try and win the national level title in the figure, the team figure. And then you said you turn 20 next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what's the game plan after that? Like, what's the overall goal? Is it just, to turn pro, like since Aaron is your idol?
Yeah, definitely. That's a game. That's a end goal, But I think this will be my last show of the year, and I'll take an off season and just kind of focus on myself, grow, focus on school, kind of plan the best package I can, and take a shot at the national shows next summer, like Junior USA's, Junior Nats, that kind of stuff. But yeah.
What are you studying in school?
Athletic training.
Okay. And what year are you in? Your second year? First year?
Yeah, I'm going into my second year.
Going into your second. Okay. All right, cool. Okay. All right, well, we wish you the best of luck, Antonella. I think you got a great physique, and I think every time you've gone on stage, everybody raves about how good your symmetry is and stuff, so I think you got good potential.
Thank you so much.
Okay, well, we wish you the best of luck. We'll be looking for you to see how you do, and I'm sure we'll see you much more in the future as the time goes on.
I hope so.
All right, Antonella, enjoy your trip out there to Pittsburgh, and we wish you the best. We hope you take home that title.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. All right, that's it for another edition of the Florida Physique Report. Thank you for joining us. Thanks to Antonella Valencia for joining us for our interview of the week. And next week, we will have the results of the Beachbodies Classic, which takes place this weekend out in Satellite Beach, Florida. And we'll also have the results of the Teen Masters and Collegiate Nationals to see how the competitors from the Florida area did. So we will see you guys next week for the Florida Physique Report. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you then.